All right, today we're diving into the world of microbial superheroes. Yeah, you heard that right. We're talking about invisible allies all around us, and some of them have some truly extraordinary powers.
I mean, what if our greatest allies were completely invisible? What if the key to better food, healthier bodies, and even, get this, deep space exploration was something too small for us to even see? Well, hold on to that thought, because our story today starts with a microbe you can almost see. Why? Because this little guy actually glows.
So, let's get into it. Section 1, a glowing discovery. You know, every superhero has an origin story, right? Well, this one begins in a lab with a very surprising find. So it all started during a citizen science project, which is super cool, by the way. Researchers isolated this one particular strain, and okay, get ready for the name. It's a mouthful, Limisolactobacillus reuteri AMV339. They got it from a healthy volunteer, and right away, they noticed something different about it, something really unique. Okay, check this out. On the left, that's a typical member of this microbe's family. Kind of plain, right? But on the right, that's our star. It has this incredible natural yellow-green glow. Scientists call that specific trait a phenotype, but for us, it means it literally shines. No joke.
So why is it glowing? What's the secret? Well, it all comes down to a super important nutrient called riboflavin, which you might know as vitamin B2. This stuff is absolutely vital for our energy, for our health. But here's the catch. Our bodies can't make it. We have to get it from the food we eat. And this is where it all connects. The glow? It's basically a side effect of this microbe's natural superpower. It is, and I'm not kidding, a tiny living factory that is just churning out massive amounts of riboflavin. Which brings us perfectly to our next section, the vitamin factory. We're going to see how this incredible superpower can be put to work right here on Earth in our own food.
And listen, when I say massive amounts, I really mean it. Just look at this chart. It compares the riboflavin production of our little hero strain to 23 of its closest relatives. I mean, it's not even a contest, right? The output is just off the charts higher. So this tiny factory is perfectly suited to solve a very real-world problem. You know how popular plant-based drinks are getting, right? Well, a recent analysis showed that only about 16% of them actually contained riboflavin. That's a huge nutritional gap.
But the solution? It's so simple, it's beautiful. It's a natural process called biofortification. All you do is add the bacteria to the drink, let it ferment, and boom. It transforms a simple beverage into a naturally vitamin-enriched superfood. How cool is that?
Okay, but the story doesn't stop in our kitchens. Not even close. The next application? Well, it takes us much, much further from home. Let's talk about probiotics in space. So here's the massive challenge, and this is straight from the researchers. Imagine trying to feed astronauts on a long journey, say to Mars. It's a logistical nightmare. Vitamins break down over time, you can't just get a resupply ship, and just keeping food stable is incredibly difficult. And because future missions are probably going to rely on plants they grow in space, those astronauts are going to face a serious shortage of key micronutrients like riboflavin, the very stuff that's usually found in animal products. And, well, you're not taking account of Mars. So, guess who's being studied as a top-tier candidate to solve this exact problem? You guessed it, our little glowing friend. It could literally serve as a self-replicating, on-demand vitamin factory for the entire journey to another planet. That's just mind-blowing. Incredible, right? But wait, there's more. Producing vitamins isn't this microbe's only trick. It actually belongs to a really powerful family with a whole bunch of different superpowers, including the ability to fight off dangerous invaders. So let's meet this microscopic army. So this family, the Lactobacilliaceae, has another vital skill. They're pathogen fighters. And one of their biggest enemies is this opportunistic fungus called Candida albicans. Now, you might have heard of it. It can cause anything from minor annoyances to some really serious, even life-threatening infections. And this is just fascinating to see. We're looking at one of their main battle tactics here. It's called agglutination. In these microscope images, the good guys, the beneficial bacteria, are stained green. And you can see them physically swarming and clumping all over the fungal invader, which is stained blue. They literally gang up on it to neutralize the threat. It's wild.
The ganging up isn't their only move. They also have a more subtle weapon. Take a look at this chart. It shows the infection potential of the Candida fungus. On its own, yeah, it's pretty high. But look what happens when you add these related bacteria, like these strains of Lactobacillus fermentum. That potential just absolutely plummets. It's a total shutdown. So what's actually happening here? Well, the bacteria are actively stopping the fungus from growing these long, spiky, invasive filaments called hyphae. Think of it like this. It's like stopping an invading army from building bridges to cross into your territory. It's a brilliant defensive move.
Okay, so this brings us to our final section, our microbial allies. I think it's pretty clear by now that these tiny organisms have some seriously immense superpowers that can benefit us in a ton of different ways.
This diagram here really sums up their whole battle plan. It's a three-pronged attack. These probiotics can stop the bad guys from growing, they can do that defensive clumping thing we saw, and they can block them from transforming into their most dangerous invasive form. It's a complete defensive system. So let's just recap the absolutely wild journey of our microbial superhero. It starts as a glowing discovery in a lab. Then it becomes a tiny vitamin factory for our food. Then a nutritional lifeline for astronauts in space. And finally, we find out it's part of a whole family of powerful pathogen fighters. What a story!
I mean, what an amazing story, right? It goes all the way from our kitchens, right here on Earth, out to the cosmos. And it really leaves you with this one big question. From our daily meals to the final frontier, what other incredible superpowers are still out there, just hiding in plain sight in the microbial world?